Hello practitioners, welcome to High Magic Practices. In today's episode we continue our journey through the Solomonic grimoires and turn our attention to one of the most fascinating and structured works of the Renaissance, the Heptameron. This episode will introduce the origins of the grimoire attributed to Peter of Abano, explore its purpose as a manual of angelic and planetary magic, and outline how it fits within the broader Solomonic tradition. We'll look at how the Heptameron organizes its rituals according to the 7 days of the week, each ruled by its own angelic hierarchy, and how it instructs the magician to prepare, purify, and align with celestial forces before performing any operation. You'll also gain insight into the symbolic structure of the text, the circles, seals, and conjurations that form its ritual core, and the precautions every practitioner should understand before approaching its methods. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clear overview of what the Heptameron is, how it connects to the lineage of Solomonic Magick, and why it remains a foundational text for those seeking to work within the angelic and planetary currents of Western ceremonial practice. If you've been working with the Arbatel, then the Heptameron is your natural next step on the path of Solomonic Magick. And if you're focusing on the Olympic spirits, High Magic Practices has created a special resource just for you, the Arbatel Olympic Spirits Guide. This guide is designed to support your study and preparation before approaching the Heptameron. It walks you through the process of invoking the Olympic spirits and helps you build the foundation needed for deeper angelic work. Patreon members can download it completely free. And we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, experiences, and results from your own invocations in the comments. Together, we continue to learn, grow, and strengthen our path in the practice of high magic. The Heptameron, whose title comes from the Greek heptar 7 and mera day, is a Renaissance grimoire centered on the summoning of angels and planetary spirits. Traditionally attributed to Peter of Abano, a 13th-14th century Italian physician, philosopher, and astrologer, it represents a synthesis of late medieval and early modern magical thought. Although its authorship is uncertain, modern scholars generally agree that it was written centuries after Abano's lifetime. The text reflects the intellectual spirit of his era, combining astrology, Christian mysticism, and ritual magic. Abano himself was a scholar who studied medicine and astronomy in Constantinople, later teaching in Padua and earning both admiration and suspicion for his erudition. His association with arcane knowledge made him a legendary figure among magicians of later centuries, even though the Heptameron as we have it was almost certainly compiled by an anonymous author of the 16th or early 17th century. The Heptameron is a practical manual of ceremonial and planetary magic. It is organized around the 7 days of the week, each governed by a celestial hierarchy of angels and spirits corresponding to the classical planets. Its primary purpose is to instruct the magician in invoking these intelligences for divine guidance and practical benefit. Through carefully structured prayers, conjurations, and ritual gestures, the practitioner is taught to align personal will with the cosmic order embodied in the angelic hosts. Unlike later grimoires that focus heavily on demonic evocation, the Heptameron presents a system of angelic theurgy. Its operations are meant to occur under the authority of God, utilizing sacred names, psalms, and Christian invocations to ensure the magician remains within divine protection. The structure of the Heptameron reflects its systematic approach to ritual. It begins with preparatory material on purification, ritual instruments, and the drawing of the magic circle, an essential emblem of divine protection inscribed with the holy names of God. The text then proceeds through a sequence of daily conjurations, each assigned to one of the 7 days of the week. Sunday, for instance, is governed by the sun and its angelic hierarchy, Monday by the moon, Tuesday by Mars, and so on. Each section contains the names of ruling angels, subordinate spirits, appropriate hours for invocation, and detailed prayers of conjuration. The grimoire also provides instructions for the creation of sigils and seals associated with each day's spirits, as well as recipes for fumigations, special blends of incense intended to attract the desired celestial influence. Tables list the angels of each hour, the favorable and unfavorable days of the month, and planetary correspondences, making the Heptameron both a liturgical text and a magical almanac. To perform the ritual safely, the practitioner must prepare both physically and spiritually. The magician consecrates the ritual space by drawing the circle on the ground, sprinkling it with holy water, and reciting purification psalms. Incense is blessed before being lit, invoking divine power over the elements of fire and air. The rituals are always performed at the precise planetary hour and on the corresponding day, for timing is considered crucial to success. The operator must also maintain moral and spiritual purity, practicing prayer, fasting, and confession to ensure harmony with the divine forces invoked. Every conjuration is to be done with reverence, not for personal gain alone, but as a disciplined act of cooperation with the celestial order. After the operation, prayers of thanksgiving and dismissal ensure that the spirits depart peacefully, leaving the magician unharmed. The Heptameron emphasizes that these rites should not be undertaken lightly. Those who approach the work unprepared or without sincerity risk confusion and failure rather than illumination. The grimoire's detailed instructions exist to safeguard the practitioner, ensuring that divine names, timing, and spiritual preparation form an unbroken chain of authority. The Heptameron belongs to the Solomonic lineage of magical literature. It shares much of its structure and language with texts such as the Key of Solomon and the Lesser Key of Solomon or Lemmegeton. Its angelic framework, holy names, and reliance on planetary correspondences are drawn from the same medieval and Jewish Christian mystical sources that inspired those works. Cornelius Agrippa's 3 books of occult philosophy and its apocryphal 4th book also transmit many of the same prayers and formulas, showing that the Heptameron functioned as part of a larger intellectual and spiritual current that viewed magic as a sacred science of divine mediation. During the Renaissance and into the early modern period, translations and adaptations of the Heptameron circulated among scholars and occult philosophers. By the 17th century, Robert Turner's English edition made it accessible to magicians in Britain and beyond. Its influence persisted, reappearing in the writings of later occultists such as Eliphas Levi, and shaping the ceremonial systems of the 19th century, including the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. The Golden Dawn's emphasis on planetary correspondences, angelic hierarchies, and the use of divine names in ritual echoes the Heptameron structure, even when it is not cited directly. For the modern ceremonial magician, the Heptameron represents both a historical artifact and a living framework for practice. Its Christian context may be adapted to contemporary spirituality, yet its core principles remain universal: purification of self and space, alignment with celestial forces, and disciplined invocation under divine authority. Practitioners are cautioned to approach it with respect and preparation, recognizing that the text's rituals are symbolic expressions of cosmic order rather than literal commands over spirits. And that is it for today, practitioners. We hope you have enjoyed this introduction to the Heptameron and gained insight into this profound system of angelic magic. In our next episode, we will begin the practical work by exploring how to construct the magic circle according to the Heptameron, the sacred foundation upon which all operations rest. If you found this episode valuable, please like and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you authentic teachings from the Western esoteric tradition. We also invite you to share your experiences, questions, and insights in the comments section below. Your journey enriches our collective understanding, and we learn together as a community of practitioners. May your path be illuminated by divine wisdom, and may the angels guide your work. Walk in light and practice with reverence.